गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स।
गुड मॉर्निंग सर।
गुड मॉर्निंग सर।
5 मिनट वेट कर लेते हैं, सभी को ज्वाइन कर लेते हैं और कोई ज्वाइन करेगा तो देन आई विल स्टार्ट। जो प्रेजेंट है वो अपना अटेंडेंस एलएमएस पोर्टल पे बना लो। I think all of you have joined. Let's start the class. So in the last class, we were discussing chart. It means so only 12 students have given their attendance. Finally, all of you must give your attendance. Okay. So in the previous class, we were discussing about this topic, the speed and starting control, starting and speed control of an induction motor. The starting method has been done, completed. Let me share you the notes of the starting of an induction motor. In that topic, we have studied three methods of starting method of induction motor. That is the need of a starter. First one is your need of starter. All of you must take the screenshot of this one, the whole expression, and the stepwise explanation is given in this format. Okay. What is the need of a starter? Why do we need a starting method? What is the need of a starting method? So in the last class or in the previous class, I have already told you, because of the high starting current, the voltage drop will be large, and for that voltage, if you are providing for three phase, let us say, if you are providing 440 volt, but the working voltage will be somewhat less than 440 volt. Let us say, because of the high starting current, if you are directly connect the induction motor with the supply source, then the because of this high starting current, the voltage drop will be higher because of the mmf produced in the stator winding. That's why if you're providing 440 volt, you will get as a working voltage of around, let us say, 400 volt, or you can say 350 volt. That means 80 volt will be lost as a type of loss. That's why we need some type of a starter, or you can say, because of the insulation failure, because the high starting current can damage the insulation of the induction motor. So these are two main reasons based on which we need to we need a starter to start the induction machine. So starter for the square cage induction motor is this one. That is, first one was direct online starter method. Then there was a star delta starter method. Then there is a auto transformer starter. So these are three methods through which we can start the induction motor. The direct online starter has already been discussed. So the diagram of the direct online starter is this. You can take the screenshot of this direct online starter. Okay. Just take the screenshot of this direct online starting method. Okay. Some points are there for the direct online starting method. Okay, I will show you in recent times. So this one is the direct online starting method, in which the motor is directly connected to the supply source. In which the direct online starter method, the stator induction machines stator is directly connected to the supply source. And in that case, the current is 5 to 7 times higher than that of the normal current. So it is mentioned here in this method, stator is directly connected to the main. In this method, stator is directly connected to the main power supply. That is the first point. Second point, the current drawn by motor, depending on its design class, whether it is a small size of a induction machine or large size of induction machine. So based on that, the nameplate will be there. So accordingly, the current rating of the normal induction motor with respect to this direct online starter is 5 to 7 times of the nominal current rating. Because of this direct online starting methods, if you are giving a normal value of, let us say, 10 ampere, that means from that normal value, you will get 50 to 70 ampere current. That is very much high for an induction machine. In that case, the voltage drop will be very much higher, or you can say insulation failure can occur for this direct online starting method. That's why this direct online starting method is mainly used for the motor up to 5 horsepower. That's the rating of the induction machine, or the nameplate. On the nameplate, the induction machine is named as in terms of a horsepower or kilowatt, because the load which in synchronous generator, I have told you, those are named as your KVA, not in horsepower or kilowatt. Because in KVA, if you're using the nameplate as KVA, let us say this is, let me first complete this one. Since this amount of current flows only for a short period of time, it would not damage the squirrel cage motor. It may cause undesirable drop in supply voltage, power factor, and subsequently affect the performance of the other equipment connected to the same supply. Okay, fine. That we have discussed. Now, in here you can see the size of the motor is 5 horsepower. Either you can use normally in general practical situation we normally use horsepower, but if you theoretical concept, it can be written as kilowatt because the load which connected to the induction machine, the power factor of the load is dependent on the loss of the machine. That's why that is given as in kilowatt. But in terms of synchronous generator or synchronous machine, if you're considering synchronous generator, that means that is also named as alternator. That is given is KVA because the load that is connected to the synchronous generator, that load's power factor does not depend upon the loss or heating of the synchronous machine. That's why in that case, the transformer, alternator, you can say synchronous generator have naming as KVA. But in case of induction motor, the rating of the machine is given in kilowatt or horsepower. As you know, the kilowatt and horsepower are related to 746 watt. So accordingly, the load that is connected to the induction machine, that's load's power factor is related with the loss of the induction machine. That's why cos theta will be involved. In that case, when you multiply VA cos theta, that will give you the watt power. That's why we have used we use normally kilowatt or horsepower in the rating of the induction machine. So this is the circuit diagram or the explanation part of direct online starting method. Okay, then there is a star delta starter. In that case, the diagram of the star delta starter is this. This is the supply line. This is the three phase L1, L2, L3 three phase, and one wire is neutral. This is induction machine. Induction machine will have three terminals. This one is the output terminal of the induction machine, and between the supply line and this induction machine's output terminal, there are some equipment or there are some connections are there so that we can use the, let us say this is your cutout section. This is the fuse. The F1 is termed as fuse. Between fuse and induction motor, there are thermal cutout section and star delta conversion. Or you can say in star delta, as you can say, this is the star connection and this is the delta connection. This is the stator part configuration and this is the rotor part configuration. At the starting condition, when you want to reduce the starting current or nominal current by 57%, then we use star connection, because in star connection and after running up to 80%, gaining the 80% value, the star connection is being converted to delta connection. That is the main connection. Here you can say this is the connection of a star delta connection. This is the fuse. This is the thermal cutout section. Okay, this is thermal cutout fuse. Okay, and this is the main rotor or star delta configuration, so that you can trip the star to delta conversion. Okay, as you can say, this is the input terminal of the three phase induction machine. This input terminal is given by the connected with this two terminal. Either this is the delta connection and this is the star connection. At the starting point, all these three are, K2 is being connected with this supply line. Supply line is connected with between this fuse. This is the supply line, and this is the current drawn or wire drawn from the supply line, and this is the fuse. When you take out some output from this supply line, it being converted into star connection and then delta connection, as both are connection in giving to the input terminal. So first, in the starting condition, this is connected with the star connection, and after gaining the speed up to your 80% speed, when machines gain its 80% speed, this star connection will be converted into delta connection. Okay, now normally we know for the delta connection the voltage is remain same, but the line current and phase current is different from, that is line current equal to √3 into phase current. Accordingly, we use star. That's why we use star to delta connection. Okay, as you know, in star connection, as we know, the voltage is related, line voltage is related with the √3 into phase voltage. And because of that, if you want to find the value of voltage dip, as the current is flowing very high value and the voltage dip will be higher, that's why we use the star connection, so that the voltage dip is reduced. Let us say voltage drop is about your 39 volt. 39 volt is for your three phase connection, but for a single phase connection, when you calculate, you will get 39 divided by root 3. That will give you the value. That will give you the value of, let me calculate, 22.51 volt. That will give you the value of 22.51 volt for a single phase. That means the voltage drop is reduced because of this star connection. And for the in the rotor part, or you can say after gaining the speed, it is being converted to delta connection. And delta connection, the voltage will remain same. 22.51 volt will be there, but the current that is produced, that is line current, is being converted into phase current by is equal to root 3 into phase current. That is line current equal to root 3 into phase current. And from there, if you derive the phase value, you will reduce the value of the line current by 57%. So that's the condition why we use star to delta connection for the starting method. So if you want to take the screenshot of this explanation part and this circuit diagram, you can take the screenshot of this circuit diagram of star delta starting method of induction machine. Okay, this is the second part. Third one is your auto transformer starter. Auto transformer is between supply line and induction machine. This is the induction machine, this is the shaft, and this is the supply line. Okay, this is the output of the induction machine. Between this output of the induction machine and the supply, this auto transformer is connected between the supply. Let us say this is your circuit diagram. Okay, this is the induction machine and this is the supply line. As in this case, star delta connection, the device is being connected between supply line in the induction machine. In the similar pattern between the supply line and induction machine, if you connect a auto transformer, then it is named as your auto transformer starter. As you can say, this is having three, as the output terminal is 3. Okay, so the input or the output of auto transformer will also be 3 terminal, because we are dealing with the 3-phase induction machine, not single phase induction machine. That's why 3 output of the auto transformer is given to the output terminal of or the input terminal of the induction machine, so that if you want to reduce the value of the voltage of the induction machine, we can regulate or you can change the number of turns of the auto transformer, so that the voltage will be reduced in the line, and accordingly the input of the induction machine voltage is reduced. Okay, so that is the condition of your auto transformer. Just reduce the number of turns or vary the number of turns to reduce the number of your input of the induction machine. So these are the 3 methods of the starting method of induction machine. You can take the screenshot of this auto transformer also. Okay. Now the last one is your, there is another method, that is starting method of slip ring induction motor. That means as we have studied, there are 2 types of induction machine. One is your squirrel cage induction machine and another is your slip ring induction machine. Now we have these 3 transformers. These 3 induction machines deals with your squirrel cage induction machine, but this is your phase wound rotor induction machine, or you can say slip ring induction machine. Okay, now in that case, when you give a load induction machine, when these are some load is provided to the terminal of the induction machine. These are line L1, L2, L3. This is the star connection, and this is the output of the machine, and these are resistance connected. As it is written, if it is necessary to start a 3-phase induction motor on load, that is load is already given to the induction machine, then a wound rotor machine, also known as slip ring induction motor, will normally be selected. Okay, that means if the load is already provided in the induction machine, and if you want to start the induction machine, then what is the method you will use? This is the slip ring induction motor starting method. So such a machine allows an external resistance. So these are resistance connected in the series. Okay, as in the starting case, all the resistance are connected in series, so that the low value of the current will flow. As the series resistance will allow very low voltage to flow. That's why we use external resistance in series connection. So that is the simple method. By using the series connection of resistance to the attached to the terminal of the induction machine, we will reduce the current entering in the machine. Okay, a three-phase rheostat connected in series with the rotor circuit through brushes. Okay, that is the simple case. That is the simple case of the induction machine, starting of the induction machine. So here you can say this is the line, this is the fuse, this is the thermal cutout switch, this is the output of the thermal cutout switch. This is the main cutout section or output terminal. And output terminal of induction machine is connected with the input of the line with the this resistance, or you can say rheostat. Okay, by varying the value of resistance, we can vary the value of current. That will allow to flow the current in the induction machine. If the resistance are connected in series with the rotor circuit, that means low value of the current will flow because resistance will oppose the flow of current. As the number of resistance is increased at the starting condition, so the less number of current, less value of current will flow in the induction machine. But as the speed gains in the induction machine, these resistance are cut out. That means resistances are reduced accordingly as the induction machine speed gain. So in the last case, or in the case when induction machine gains its full speed, all the resistances are cut out, or you can say resistance has been removed, and the machine will start to run as its normal condition. So this is the starting method of slip ring induction motor. So if you want to take the screenshot of this method, you can take it. Okay, done. So they are soft study. There is no need of.
सर
So
एक
there are
मिनट
some.
सर फिर से दिखाएं सर.
हाँ बाबू बोलो.
एक मिनट सर, एक मिनट.
ठीक है चलो. एक सेकेंड.
हो गया सर.
ये शायद पूरा एक बार में ले लेना ज्यादा अच्छा होगा. उनको दिखा देते हैं. अब आ रहा है. अब अच्छे से ले लो. दोनों डायग्राम एक साथ आ जाएगा.
ओके सर.
Done.
यस सर.
Okay, fine. So these are some points related with the starting methods. So you must take the screenshot of this one also. This is for direct online starting method. This is for direct some important points related with your direct online starting method. That is three-phase motor with low to medium power rating. That means up to 5 horsepower. You can use this direct online starting method. Three conductors to the motor, as we are using three-phase induction motor. So three conductors will be used, or you can say three wire will be used, red, yellow, blue. High starting, when you use high starting, when you require high starting torque, then only direct online starting method will be used. Then in that case, high current peak will be there. Then voltage dip will be higher. One simple switching device will be there. As we have discussed, घर में जितना भी इंडक्शन मशीन यूज होता है पानी के लिए, जमीन से निकालने के लिए, उसमें मेनली डायरेक्ट ऑनलाइन स्टार्टिंग मेथड ही यूज होता है, क्योंकि वो 5 हॉर्स पावर से ज्यादा नहीं होता है. नॉर्मली 2-3 हॉर्स पावर का ही होता है. वो डायरेक्ट सप्लाई से कनेक्टेड रहता है डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर पैनल से. बीच में एक सिर्फ स्विच रहता है रेड एंड येलो का. ठीक है. तो नॉर्मली घर में डायरेक्ट ऑनलाइन क्यों होता है, क्योंकि घर में सिंगल फेज सप्लाई होता है 230 वोल्ट. 230 वोल्ट में उतना यूज नहीं पड़ता है स्टार्टअप का और ऑटो ट्रांसफॉर्मर स्टार्टअप का. दैट्स व्हाई नॉर्मली वी यूज इन होम अ डायरेक्ट ऑनलाइन स्टार्टिंग मेथड to start the induction machine. Induction machine will have less than 5 horsepower. We will direct online starting method. These are the some points, 6 points related with direct online starting method. Second one is the star delta startup. These are 6 points is also there for star delta startup. This is three-phase motor with low to high power rating. 6 conductors to the motor. Reduce the starting torque 1/3 of the nominal torque. So these are some important points. You should take the screenshot. Next one is auto transformer starter. Then there is a starting method using external resistance. So starting method has been completed. we will move to the next topic, that is speed control of induction machine. Normally, we use four methods to control the speed of the induction machine. Okay. Acha. Let us discuss about the speed control of induction machine. Okay. It is written. The three-phase induction motor is basically constant speed motor. All of you must give your attendance on the LMS portal. We have less than 10 minutes. Three-phase induction motor is basically a constant speed motor. Constant speed means it is not at synchronous speed. As we have discussed, induction machine is a asynchronous machine. Asynchronous machine means the device which does not run on synchronous speed is known as induction machine. Normally, only one machine which runs on synchronous speed, that is your synchronous generator or synchronous motor. Okay. Induction machine does not run on the synchronous speed, but we use synchronous speed to find out the sleep of the induction motor, because there is a relative motion. Just like relative motion मतलब क्या है, जैसे ट्रेन में बैठे हैं, ट्रेन में अगर बैठे हुए हैं तो आप मूव करोगे, बट जो बाहर का स्टेशनरी ऑब्जेक्ट है वो स्टेशनरी रहेगा, बट बिकॉज ऑफ योर रनिंग मूवमेंट यू विल फील दैट the objects that is outside from your train is also moving in the opposite direction. In the similar case, when you in induction motor, अगर rotating magnetic field rotate कर रहा है और आपका rotor stationary है, then there is a relative speed is ns, that is your ns. But when you when the rotating magnetic field is rotating with speed of ns, and rotor is also rotating with a speed of nr, that means ns minus nr is the relative speed, because both are running in the same direction. But if the rotating magnetic field and rotor is moving in the opposite direction, then the relative speed will be ns plus nr. Okay. Because of that condition, we use this machine is named as asynchronous speed. सिंपल सा लॉजिक है, अगर सिंक्रोनस स्पीड पे अगर मूव करेगा इंडक्शन मशीन, तो रोटर का स्पीड सिंक्रोनस स्पीड के इक्विवेलेंट हो जाएगा या इक्वल हो जाएगा. अगर रोटर के स्पीड और रोटेटिंग मैग्नेटिक फील्ड का स्पीड दोनों अगर सेम होगा, तो फ्लक्स कटिंग एक्शन नहीं होगा, फ्लक्स कट नहीं होगा. अगर फ्लक्स कट नहीं होगा तो ईएमएफ इंड्यूस नहीं होगा रोटर का वाइंडिंग में. अगर ईएमएफ इंड्यूस नहीं होगा रोटर का वाइंडिंग में, तो as we know, जो स्क्विरल केज इंडक्शन मोटर होता है वो शॉर्ट सर्किटेड पहले से होता है. कंस्ट्रक्शन में पढ़े थे हम लोग ने, पढ़ा था कि इंडक्शन मशीन में स्क्विरल केज क्या होता है, रोटर पार्ट वो शॉर्ट सर्किटेड रहता है दोनों साइड से. वो एंड बेल होता है, एंड बेल में क्या होता है, एंड रिंग होता है, एंड रिंग में दोनों शॉर्ट सर्किटेड रहता है मेटल से. अगर शॉर्ट सर्किटेड पाथ है तो करंट फ्लो होगा. अब करंट फ्लो होगा, अगर ईएमएफ इंड्यूस्ड है ही नहीं, फ्लक्स कटिंग एक्शन होगा ही नहीं, तो ईएमएफ इंड्यूस नहीं होगा. अगर ईएमएफ इंड्यूस नहीं होगा तो करंट भी फ्लो नहीं होगा. But because of this nr speed and relative speed between rotating magnetic field and your that is moving in synchronous speed and rotor speed, that is nr, there will be some relative speed between these two. That means flux cutting action will be there, and if the flux cutting action will be there, then emf will be induced in the rotor part of the machine, and if the rotor part emf is induced, then current will also flow in the machine. So that's why we normally use this induction machine should not run or must not run at its synchronous speed. Otherwise, there will be no operation will be done through an induction machine. So for that, we use to control the speed of the induction motor. Okay. So for that, first we know synchronous speed का formula सभी को मालूम है, ns equal to 120 f upon p. F is the supply frequency, that is your 50 hertz. P is your number of poles. Okay. Now, as we have discussed, this induction machine speed, that is nr, this is n is equal to rotor speed. nr is given as ns 1 minus s. S is your sleep. Okay. Or you can say sleep equal to ns minus nr divided by ns. If you solve this equation, you will get ns minus nr divided by ns. That will give you the value of sleep. Okay. But for the rotor speed, rotor speed, you will get this equation. Ns within the bracket 1 minus s. S has the range 0 to 1. Okay. Where n is the speed of the rotor of induction motor. Okay. N is the synchronous speed done. S is the slip. Fine. As Acha, here we are dealing with the second formula that we have discussed in the torque slip characteristic. That is the torque. This is the torque of the induction machine. This was our constant part that we have discussed in the torque slip characteristics. We have not considered this term 3 upon 2 pi ns. Here we have taken, these are constant values, so we have taken the as constant, proportionality constant. But for the final value, when you write the torque equation of the three-phase induction motor, you will get this equation. That is 3 upon 2 pi synchronous speed, x synchronous reactance, and s E2 square R2 upon R2 square plus s X2 square. This is the rotor induced EMF. E2 is rotor induced EMF, R2 is your rotor resistance, and here rotor reactance. Rotor reactance is connected, multiplied with the slip. So this is the actual torque equation of the induction machine. Now at the standstill condition, standstill condition means when the rotor speed 0. When the rotor speed 0, that means in the standstill condition, the value of the slip will be 1. And in that case, the torque equation, when you put the value of slip equal to 1, the torque equation you will get this one. Okay. Now the so accordingly the speed control will vary. So from this equation we will deal with the speed control. Here you can say E2 is your rotor EMF, NS is the synchronous speed, R2 is the rotor resistance, X2 is the rotor inductive factor. Finally, now you can see the speed of induction motor is changed from both stator and rotor side. If we can control the some value of stator part, then also we can control the speed. And if we can control the rotor side value, we can also control the speed of the induction machine. Now for that value, there are some methods. First one, V upon F control of frequency or frequency control. V upon F matlab voltage upon frequency control. If the ratio is constant, that means there will be some then we can say that we can control the value of the speed. Okay. Second one is a changing of number of stator poles. Number of changing of the stator pole means this one. This is the pole. If you change the number of poles, that means you can vary the value of synchronous speed. And if the synchronous speed can vary, you can vary the rotor speed also. And if the rotor speed vary, or you can say if the value of ns can vary, the torque can be varied, and accordingly the speed can be controlled. Then controlling supply voltage, that means if you are providing high value of voltage, the speed will increase. If you decrease the supply voltage to the stator part, that means you can decrease the value of the voltage, that means directly proportional. Another last one is adding rheostat in the stator circuit. As in the first case, stator connection, starting condition, we have dealt with your slip ring induction motor. This is the rheostat part. Similar kind of things occur for this last topic, that is adding rheostat in the stator circuit. Rheostat means adding the your series resistance in the stator circuit. Okay, so these are the some stator side control is stator side control, speed control, and in the rotor side, these are three methods through which we can control the rotor side or speed of the induction. So speed control from the stator side, that means whether some part of the stator side will be controlled, and if we control the stator side quantity or parameters, we can control the speed of an induction machine. So as you can say, it is written. First, we have less than 1 minute, so let me first finish this topic. Only one topic we will cover today. Whenever three-phase supply, it is written, whenever three-phase supply is given to three-phase induction motor, as we are dealing with three-phase induction machine, so we are giving three-phase supply. Okay, and accordingly, when you provide a balanced three-phase supply, then the rotor speed is given by synchronous speed, that is ns equal to 120 f upon p. Okay, that is rotating magnetic field. Now in three-phase induction motor, EMF is induced by induction. Similar to that, this is the EMF induced in the rotor part of the induction machine. Okay, this is the rotor part of the induction machine. So all of you must remember this equation. Okay, this is quite similar to that of your transformer. Okay, so we have less than 10 seconds. We will discuss all these things, speed control in detail part in the tomorrow. We will deal. Okay, all of you must give your attendance on the LMS portal.